We'll do the Mamer שובה Yisrael in the Likutei Torah. This is the first Mamer for Shabbos Shuva. שובה Yisrael Chulu. The pasuk says in Hosea, שובה Yisrael ad Hashem Elokecha ki choshalta ba'avenecha. That Yisrael, the Yidden, return to Hashem. Now, so we see he uses here specifically the name Yisrael versus the name Yaakov. Sometimes you have. So he's going to explain the two madregas of Yisrael and Yaakov, and why we say שובה Yisrael. Hine yesh beis bechinas. There's two levels. There is Yaakov and Yisrael. Uksiv, and then also the pasuk says, Lo ya Yaakov ya Omer oid shimcha kim Yisrael. David says he shouldn't call you Yaakov but Yisrael. So we see there is something about the name Yaakov, and then we say not Yaakov but Yisrael. But in the end, the idea is it's known. The purpose of the creation of the world is so that it should be for him blessed, a dwelling place in the lower worlds. The Eibishter created the lower worlds so that he has a place to live in the lower worlds. How is Hashem going to live in the lower worlds? Through subduing the other side and turning darkness into light. That's the way you bring Hashem to live in Tachtonim, in this world. The word olam, creating the world, olam means helam, comes from the language of obscure, to block. That's the darkness and the block. The world blocks and hides the blessed light of the Ein Sof, which rests in the world. If the world blocks it, and it appears to be a being, a matter in of itself, an independent entity. So that's the choshech, that's the darkness, that's the olam in essence. In the future to come, this darkness will be turned to light. It's not going to block anymore. We'll see eye to eye. We'll be able to see the Ein Sof which creates the world. But how is this going to happen? The Ein Sof in the Osid Lavei, through our actions and our service in the Golus time, days of Golus. In the level of subduing and turning around the soul from one which opposes the other ones. Because the Klippa opposes the Kedusha, and to turn it around from the Klippa to Kedusha, by what? The Kiyum Mitzu Mashikosu, by fulfilling by what it says, when we fulfill what the pasuk says, know today and put it to your heart that Havaya is Elikim. That way you will have the ability to fight and to subdue these by this knowledge. And then when you have this level of this idea, which is during the time of today, when there's the time to do, Machar is the Chabos Chora, but Hayoim is Lasoisom. We have to do. So today we're doing Lost Love will be the Schar, but that will be knowing Daita Yom during the time of Hayom Lasoisom, in the preparation for Lost Love, and in this case, that's only the level of knowing. So through this, so that is merits it. Which is Mochor, l'kabel schorim. Mochel kabel schorim. That is bechinas riya mamash. That's in a level of actual seeing. To see. So today we have to work on the yidiyah. Through this yidiyah, we'll come to the riyah l'osid lovay ayin ba'ayin yiru. Ba'ayin mashikosu sevdiv ramaschil kisishma b'kar. So that means v'yodaito hayoim. So that's the yidiyah. Hayoim means Hayom l'kabel schorim. Yidiyah ba'ayoim ba'ayoim. Daita hayoim lasoisom yuzoicha to the lemochor l'kabel schorim. So what are we gonna know? What is Yodaita Hayoim? Ki Hashem hu alikim. So what does it mean? Hashem hu alikim. Inyan Havayu alikim hu inyan yichudi lo yichud tato. There's two ways of this idea of Havayas alikim. In a way of lower level, upper level of yichud, the way Hashem is with alikim, and the lower of Yechud. It's either Havaya is down to Elikim or the Elikim is up to Havaya. The level of Yichudei Ilah and the level of Yichudei Tator. And in the Oisius, says the parentheses, it's either Shiluv Shem Havaya Shem Elikim Admai, to combine bring together the name of Elikim, the name of Havaya in Elikim Ba'adnai, or Shilu Shem Elikim Ba'adnai b'Shem Havaya, or to bring up the name Elikim and Adnai up to the Shem Havaya. Either bring the Shem Havaya into Elikim Ba'adnai, or bring the Elikim Ba'adnai up to the Shem Havaya, which is Shabakriya Shema. The Yichudei Lo and Yichud Tator, which we do when we read the Shema, where we have the two levels. It's Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. So one level is Echad, that's Yichudei Lo. And then we have a Baruch Shem Kvod Mechuzah L'Olam Vod, that is Yichudei Tator. So when you have, Havaya Likim, which is Echad, the Baruch Shem Kvod Mechuzah L'Olam Vod, Shal Yidei Zeh Yovei L'Vahafto, that way you will come to the level of Vahafto, as the Pasuk continues. Beliyos, Bechinas is Kafi is Habcha. So you love the Eberster, so you'll be in a level of turning around, subduing and turning around. Love is Habcha. Ulakach Koidim Krishma Pamayim B'chol Yom. That's why we read the Shema twice every day. Erev HaBoker, we do it in the evening and the morning. So we have because this Yichud of so we need to have it both in Shamayim Mimal and also Al Ha'aretz. So that's why we need both in the morning, in the evening, and in the morning. We're going to explain. We're going to see how, with the level of evening, is one level of morning is another evening. That is the Yichud of Vayin Elikim. Ukeneged Beis B'chinas Elu. So to correspond to these levels, we say Hashem Bashamayim Mimal Yedaita Yom Bashavos Shuva Hashem Elikim Bashamayim Mimal Valoretz Mitochas, to correspond to these two levels. Shehem Shemayim V'Oretz Kreim Kriya Shema Pamayim Erev Boker. That's why we read it twice, to go along with the pasuk that says Hashem Bashamayim Mimal V'Oretz Mitochas. So we're going to see the two levels of Yichud in the Shamayim and the level of Oretz, which is also the two levels of Erev HaVoker, which is the two levels of Yichud Ilah, Yichud Tato. My Mashkosim in Erev HaVoker, which is Midas Laila, Midas Yom, the measure of night and the measure of day. We say Erev HaVoker. So there, Erev HaVoker, Mizlam Yom, B'dibur HaMaschel Tachas Asher Lo Yavadito. Ugam Kini is also the same idea of Kikel Deis. It says plural, Sheyesh Beis Deis. What are the two Deis, the two views? So the one view, the lower Yichud Torah is Shamil Mato Lamailo, from the approach, the way we from below to above, Nikra Yesh Me'ayin. We are called the Yesh, and the upper we come from Ayin. The Zohu Midas Lailo. That's the measure of the nighttime. That's the Erev. But from the approach from above is the opposite. So that above is the real entity, and below it's like not considered, is not important. So that's the measure. Just like in the world, there is the level of Shemayim and the level of Oretz. So in the soul of man, there's also these two levels. We have the levels in the soul, which is called the Shemayim of the soul, and then we have the Oretz of the soul. The nefesh is included from these four levels, which is seichel and machshava, intellect and thought, and then dibur ma'aseh. Those are four. Seichel and machshava are called the shamayim, and dibur ma'aseh called the oretz. Ein zerichel gimel pinchas reishchov. Amebez aposik ein ma'aseh v'chesh v'chut. Hinei, seichel and machshava hem b'chinas shamayim. Seichel and machshava are the level of shamayim. They're the level of Oretz. Within the nefesh of the Odom, the level of Shemayim is the seichel, the intellect and the thought, and speech and action, that's the level of Oretz. So it says, although machshava is also a garment, Mele seichel is the neshama itself. That's the moichin. But the thought, the power of thought, is also only a garment for the soul. Just like Dibur Ma'aseh. Why do we consider that to be Shemayim of the Nefesh? But thought is included and unites with the Nefesh HaMaskelos, with the Nefesh that understands. You can't have an intellect without having the letters of thought. So the thought, you can't think, it can't be an idea without thinking. You have to have letters of machshava for the idea. Then this becomes like a turtle whose house, his garment, is from the self. It's not like something separate. It's the machshava, which is the levush, is part of the seichel itself. It unites with the seichel. Mashenkein hadibur v'ma'aseh, as opposed to the dibur and ma'aseh, and b'chinas nefroidi min hanefesh, they are separate from the soul. Ve'ein hanefesh mislabeshet b'hem tamid elo v'itim shemedaber v'etzim. Only when he speaks or when he does, that's when it's cold. That's when it dresses up in them. So the seichel, the machshava, is always there. But the dibur is only there when he speaks. And that's why it's called Eretz. Now, so it needs to be the level of subduing and turning around in the soul from one to the other. Whether it's in the level of Shemayim in the Seichel Machshava, or in the level of Eretz. We want to do Sheyiyu Kol Arbo B'chines Yichodim Levasham Levadei. That all of these four levels, Seichel Machshava Dibur Ma'aseh, should be united and only for Hashem alone. The Hainu, which means Shaseichel, Vadibur, that the Seichel and Dibur should be filled with Torah, which is Torah comes from Chochmah. That means that the Seichel, so your Seichel should be Meyuchat Hashem, because your Torah is Chochmah. When you're learning Torah, then you're from Hashem, then we come to Hashem. And then we have the Barta Bam, the Pasuk says, the Barta Bam, Chulu, that's the idea of the Barta Bam. And you will talk to them, talk the words of Torah. Then you have the level of Maisa. So that's Seichel should be involved in Torah. The level of Maisa is Mefurish, Meparshas, Shniya, Vasabta Gunacho, Maisa Tzedakah. Sabta Gunacho, that's the act of Tzedakah, that's the mitzvahs. So that brings about, that's the idea of Shemayim and Oretz, to have it all turned around for the service of Hashem. So this level, lower level of Yichud, that's the level of Yaakov, because that's the level of Yud Ekev, which means, what is Yaakov Yud Ekev? That Yud, which is the B'chinas Chochma of Bittul, Hanimshach B'chinas Ekev B'soif HaMadrega. That's the Chochma Bittul that extends in a level of Ekev, and the end of Madrega is Liyas is Habchav, is Kafiv, is Habchav. That's the level. Yaakov represents when you need to bring down the level of Chochma into the Ekev so that you can fight, so you can subdue and turn things around. So what does that mean? Where's the level of Yaakov? When the person is still struggling, he's still waging war with this Hapcha, this Hapcha. Sha'oz Midas Alakim B'Tzimtzum Liyis Alma Dipruda Hi Yaakov Eresboy. Then that measure of Alakim B'Tzimtzum, that there should be this world that's separated, that's overpowers it. What do we have then? You have the main Elikim, because you feel the tzimtzum at that time, because you have to fight, which means you don't hear, you don't sense the Israel, you don't sense the godliness. You're in the Ekim. The Ikris b'nefesh odom. That's the main in the person. That's the Yaakov Nebazur. But Elosha Mapshich Chinas Yud, you take down Yud in the Ekev. You're Mapshich. You're mainly Ekev. You're mainly Skafi but you bring down the Yud. So that would mean the Hainu Shiluv Havaya Belikim Ba'adnai. That means to take the Havaya and combine it into Elikim and Adnai. Ki Havaya b'Chochma. Havaya is in Chochma, to bring down the level of Chochma Bittel, the Yud, to bring the Chochma Bittel into the Ekev, into the level of the Ekev. Abel Yisrael, but Yisrael on the other hand, that represents Kisorisei Melikim. You have already battled with Melikim. Shekvar Govar Shem Havaya Shem Melikim, that he has already strengthened. The name of Havaya has overpowered the name Elikim. Israel, that's the higher level. The Hainu Shiluv Shem Elikim Ba'adnai Ba'havaya. That is when you bring up the Shem Elikim and Adnai into Levaya. And then Baru L'mayla Mebchinas Elikim Wa'atzimtzum. And then he is higher than Elikim Tzimtzum. So that is Im Elikim. So Risem Elikim. You took the Havaya over the Shem Elikim. Im Anoshim. If it's Risem Elikim, Anoshim. What is Anoshim? Hem Chikoiches HaMispashis M'Shem Elikim. Those are the forces, the powers that expand from the Shem Elokim. Shem Shluchei Hadin V'Akitru Chulu. Those are the agent of the Din V'Kidru, etc. V'ayin Zerich and the Kala V'Yishlach Kufa in Daldim. So basically, that's where we have the Shem Abaye. They have the Shil of Abaye Ba'adnaya, in Elikim, and Shil of Elikim Ba'adnaya, in the Shem Abaye. And these are the two ideas, either to bring down Yaakov, Yud, and the Akev, or you've already overpowered Yisrael, which is Kisarisim Elikim, the Manoshiv, that you've overpowered the Shem Elikim, and now you are in a higher level, base. The Pasuk says, "Yar kol ha'om, vayipla p'neihem, vayimra havayehu elikim." Base promises Hashem elikim 2 times. That's a Malachim Perek Aleph in Malachim Aleph in Perek Yudches Yudches. Vayim is ever Abbas Heles Korov LeSoifei. So Parshas Vuv Moves Yavish Yabia Shem Nerekiach. Zoyer Chelik Gimel Samachei Aleph Reish Samud Aleph. Zoyer Chelik Aleph Memei Aleph. Betonot Velio Peir Sheyud Zayin Yerushalmi Perek Gimel the Tainis. Halacha Dalet. Vayim bePirish Rashi b'Shevtim Siman Hey. The Pasuk Shimon Lochim or beKarmel. Based. So the question that we have here, Lama Koflu based. So why did they double it? Why did they say 2 times Hashem Elikim? The idea is Kabayu Elikim Yeshbe based Purush. Hashem Elikim has 2 commentaries, 2 interpretations. Ha'alef Shahavayu Gilei Nisob Baruch Hu. That Havaya, that is the level of the revelation they resolve, is b'bchinas hamshocha v'yishpash. It extends and expands. Havaya, shu mibchinas havaya v'chesed. That comes from the level of havaya and chesed. Zochar chesed, which is Lahavas Kola is Havayas, to create all the things is Havaya, that Gilu Oirev Sof. Havaya is who Atzmoi Elikim B'Tzimtzum. So that Havaya itself, that creates everything. That is the level of Havaya Chesed, Zochar Chazde, which is level of Chesed, to create everything. So Havaya is Hu Elikim, Hu Atzma Elikim B'Tzimtzum. That itself is Elikim B'Tzimtzum, which means that it was restricted in order that there should be worlds that are separate, which are limited. The Ribuy is Chalkus Hamadreges Minim Minim Shoinim. Various different kinds. That is Havaya. Tzimtzum Hazeh. So, what does it mean? Tzimtzum Hazeh, Ima Yeshe Be'evesu Tzimtzum God Legabe Einin Sobaruchu. She'ena B'chinas Hu. Although this restriction is really a great restriction relative to Ein Sobaruchu, who is not in any limitation. It's still Havaya. Why? So even though the Havaya, you have the Tzimtzum, it's still Havaya. Why? Because that's the way you can have the creation. Lahava is called Havaya is Ayin Liyesh. That's how we can create everything from nothing into existence. So below the had Tzimtzum, had it not been for the Tzimtzum, there would be no worlds at all. They would be negated in their source. They would be like they never were. If there's no restriction, there can't be these ilamas, can't be this givulim, can't be this separation. And they would have been bottled in their source. So it turns out, since it's necessary in order to create, you need these restrictions. You need alikim, you need the tzimtzum. So that restriction is really havaya. It's also the chesed. That gevura is really chesed. That's bringing out chesed. And the gevura with the restriction, the alikim midavaya, are really true, completely united, a true and a complete union. By mashkosim mizeh b'divra maschil, by davar alikim, ani Hashem ve'el Avram, b'seh b'divra maschil v'yidaytayah. So that's one pirush in Hashem alikim. Shem is alikim because together they bring the world into creation. It could be the level of chesed in creation. Pirush Hasheni ki b'chinas havaya v'amchoshachas hachesed shem have kol havayis. That this level of havaya and this extension of kindness, which creates all of the creations, Shashem zenikra havaya. That's what we call havaya, which is loshin hoive. Loshin, the present, Vayud, Vayud, Sheveresh HaTeva, Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei. Hoive is the second, the three letters, Yud Kei Vav Kei. So it's Yud Kei Vav Kei. Yud Sheveresh HaTeva, Hoiv is Shumah V'Tomit, that is always created. So, Hare B'china Zu, Rag B'china Zelakim V'Tzimtzum, so this level of creation is really alikim. It's really a restriction. Rev, you talk about, you measure it relative to the Ein Sof. Moshe Pasuk says, "Ani Havayu Shmi, Shemchinas Havaya, Ein El B'chinas Shem." Havaya is only a shape. It's only a level of shape. Let's say, for example, Shem Ha'odam Avraham. The name of Avraham. That's only for the need of the person to call him the name. So a name means it's only a handle, it's a way for people to call him. But the name has no relationship, has no comparison to the essence of the person. It's not of the essence and not compared at all, the name to the person. So we say the Havaya is only a shame. So this Amshocha of Havaya, that kindness of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu to vitalize the world, and to bring them in from nothing into existence. There is really no comparison to us at all. And as the example of the ray of the sun to the sun, which the ray has very little connection to the sun. Hashem alone, blessed He is, holy and distinguished from any of the limitations, the boundaries of the world. And even also the name is also raised in a level of levade. Nizgo Shmoi levade. Rak hoide v'ziva shel Shmoi al eretz v'chulu. It's merely a ray and a ziv of Shmoi is on the eretz, which means since Shmoi is a ha'oreh, and this is a hoid from Shmoi, it's a ha'oreh, the ha'oreh. So therefore that's a ray of a ray. Av gamzo is, what is it? B'chinas?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
B'chinas. Huh? B'chinas al daika, right? Hoydoi al eretz v'shemayim. It's in a level of al eretz v'shemayim. Hoydoi al eretz v'shemayim. Al. specifically al daika. L'shayich olav yizborech b'chinas havaya. But Hashem alone, you can't say the level of havaya by him. Kinyan havaya, which is the idea of havaya, yud chokhmah. That's havaya, but v'lo shayich olav yizborech. About him, blessed, you can't say afilu and chokhmah and chakim le'chokhmah idea. Even the level to say that you're a chokhmah but not the known chokhmah, we can't say this about Hashem himself. Relative to the ishtalshlus that have evolved into the level of chokhmah bina, over there we say you're a chacham, that's the level of ishtalshlus. Varehu yizborech mokerlem. But he blessed is a source for them. You are, with you is the source of life. And that's who Mekora Chacham Mekora Bina. So Dave says the source of Chacham Bina. But he doesn't actually dress up in the level of Chachma. Chachma comes from Ayin. Ayin was Ayin. That comes from the level of Ayin. The Hainu She'ein is Avos Chachma B'chinas Ishtalshlus. That means it doesn't come in a way of Ishtalshlus involved. It's Lapsha Yisod Baruch Hu Mamash and dressing up of the Ein Sof. Elam B'chinas She'ayin Ve'efes. But from a level of Ayin Ve'efes. B'chinas Ziv K'mosh Kosim Makamach. So basically, we're saying that Hashem himself is beyond all the names, even the name of Havaya. Abish is only a mokir for them, and it comes from the level of Ayin. Ayin b'divrei maschil, lo yitiyah mishakelo. But Ziv zeh, hu atzma yitzimtzum ram v'otzum l'gabe nesov baruch hu atzma kavyocha. So even this Ziv is also a tremendous restricted level, powerful relative to Yisod Baruch Atzmai. And still, we're saying that that's only the Mokar, but it's not Ant the Chacham. This is what Yaakov, when he prayed on his way, he said, if God will be with me and he will protect me, and I will return in peace to my father's home. Azai, then he said, then Hashem will be Elikim. Pirush. If Elikim will be in mid, I'll be able to subdue and turn on. After reaching Oldum Adlevis, Ad, till I come to the level of a Shafti Bisholim. Ozai, then he will come and reach the Madreg Gedol on the floor, this great and wondrous level. The subjugation, inclusion in the Enes of Mamish, which is higher and higher than Havaya, because Havaya, Havaya will be Elikim because he's going to reach in a much higher madrega. I mashikosu mizasem dilo maschil. Ani Hashem lekechem the parsha tzitzis. Saved to Ramaschil, Shavti b'sholem. V'ayin v'rabes v'yetze parsha ayin. Gabenot lakodesh baruch hu sichos shel oven v'osum avtech v'gosum shel bonim. V'ayin mashikosu mizasem dilo maschil v'chomen.